Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a full face of first impressions. I think I have something for everything, I'm fairly certain, other than brushes. But yeah, if you want to see me try out the full face of new makeup. And this is the makeup that was featured in my last video, which was the haul video. So it is me testing out all of that makeup. So if you want to see me test it all out, then just keep watching. Alright, so first I'm going to start out with my face primer. The primer I have to try out is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Matte Face Primer. Literally most of the stuff's still in boxes because I think I opened a couple of the things just to make sure they weren't broken when they came in the mail. So it has like a lotiony looking consistency. I'm just going to apply that. I can definitely smell that it has some sort of SPF to it, so let's see. It doesn't say it has SPF, but it definitely smells like it does. I think it did a pretty good job of mattifying, although I wasn't super oily to begin with, which is kind of abnormal for me actually. So the next product I have, I know had quite a bit of controversy around it, and it is the Tarte Shape Tape Foundation. I do have the hydrating one. I have mine in the shade Light Neutral, which I think is 22N maybe? Doesn't say. And I know there was a lot of controversy due to the shade range. So that primer I used was $4.68. This I got for $19. It's normally I think $39. Yeah, so this is N22. There are 25 shade options, and it does go fairly dark, but there's not a good middle shades. There are a lot of really light shades and then some really deep shades, but and I don't even think they're as deep as they need to be. But there's not a lot of good middle ground. But yeah, for some reason it was on sale for $19 when I bought it. It's back up to $39, and right now if you buy it you get a free gift. But yeah, when I bought it, it was $19. I've heard mixed reviews on this. I've heard it's not really as hydrating as, you know, it should be. This doe foot's not getting very much at a time. I feel like I'm having to dip back in quite a few times, which isn't the end of the world, but it would be nice if I didn't have to. And then I have a new tool, which I know it's not in this package, but it's the Real Techniques Face and Body Sponge, and it's the one, and this says it has a new look. So you know normally the Real Techniques sponge is orange. Well, the new look one, it's pink. But this thing is quite large. Literally it's almost as big as my hand. I'm going to use this. We're going to use this to blend out our foundation. definitely think it blended everything out pretty fast. I'm going to go back in and add a little bit more coverage on certain spots and see if this is buildable. And it's not really staying on my nose. Which normally when I have that problem, it's a mattifying foundation that doesn't want to stay on my nose. So it's not the worst foundation I've tried, although it's really not staying on my nose. And it's supposed to be a full coverage. I don't really feel like it is because you can still see my acne right here, on my chin, on this side of my face. So you can see those couple of spots right here. You can still see the redness on all these and the redness on those. So I'm not really sure how I feel about it. I know that it has had a lot of mixed reviews, so. Okay, and the next thing I have is the Maybelline Age Rewind. I know this used to be like the go-to concealer on YouTube. I've just never actually tried it. I got mine in the shade Fair. And you have to click it a couple times when you first get it to get product to come up. Alright. And then I'm going to use that same sponge to blend that in, but I'm going to use the more pointed side. And it blended out really nice, but I don't know how much I like this giant sponge to do my under eyes. I like it for my foundation, but I don't really know how much I like it to do my under eyes, just because it's kind of hard to get like really in there. So I think more so I'm going to like this for foundation. And the next thing, technically I've tried before, because it's the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder, but I got a darker shade because my other one is way too light. And when I say way too light, I mean it's very light. So I did have the shade 05, now I have the shade 10. Nope, I literally just pulled this thing off and got powder all over me. And then I'm going to tap a little bit into, the lid. And I'm going to make sure I don't have any creasing under my eyes. And then I'm going to bake under my eyes. And then I'm going to take a fluffy brush and dust some powder around the rest of my face to set it. So next I have the LA Girl Spice blush palette, and it has two blushes, a bronzer, and a highlight. I'm going to go into that bronzer and bronze up my face. I feel like this is a little bit too deep for my skin tone. And I feel like it's very gray, so I feel like for me, this is more like a contoury shade than it is a bronzer shade. I'm going to go back in with that fluffy powder brush and kind of diffuse this a little bit. Yeah, it's definitely pulling gray on me. And then I'm going to take a blush brush, and I think I'm going to go in with the deeper blush. These are very pigmented products, so a little bit goes a long way. I think it's a really pretty, natural, rosy flush kind of blush. And then I'm not going to use that highlighter. I'm actually going to use this Makeup Revolution Vivid Baked Highlighter. And this is in the shade Radiant Lights. Looks like this. I think it's just a hair too dark, which is weird, but I'm going to go in with a little bit of that highlight from this palette and see if I can lighten it up a bit. Because that highlight's more of a glittery highlight. Like this highlight's more of a glittery highlight, which isn't really my preference, but this is a really pretty highlight. That one, I like it. I would like it more if it wasn't as glittery. But now we're going to go into brows before we go into eyes. So, new brow product I have is the ColourPop Brow Boss, and I have mine in the shade, I think, soft. Well, I have mine in the shade Blonde. Very thin tip. I think this brow color is a really good color for me. I really like how thin and precise it is because it makes it easy to draw a little tail and front brow hairs. Yeah, I actually really like this because my tails are normally very blunt for some reason. I don't really know why, like my natural brows. So this gave me the ability to do a nice tail and without it looking unnatural. So I actually really like this brow pencil. And then to set it, I have this Easy Breezy Brow Shape and Define Brow Mascara from CoverGirl. And it is in the shade Soft Blonde, which is why I think I thought my brow pencil was in Soft Blonde. So it has like a curved mascara type wand. Ooh, this is very blonde. I'm not sure how I feel about that because it was a lot. Because it's a lot blonder than I expected it to be. I mean, I know it's soft blonde, but I expected it to be not like gray almost. So I'm not really sure how I feel about that. I'll have to keep trying it. Alright. So now on to eyes. So the eye primer I have is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Primer. And it's just the eyeshadow primer. It has like a tan base and it's very tacky. So it has a very tacky base, which should be a good thing. So the eyeshadow palette I have is the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. I know this is another like cult favorite thing. I've just never tried it. I've tried the Chocolate Bonbons one, which is one of my favorite palettes, but I've never tried the actual chocolate bar. So here is what it looks like. I'm going to go in to the shade white chocolate right here. And take this Luxie 207 brush, and I'm just going to use that to set down my eyeshadow primer. So the first shade I'm going to go into is Salted Caramel. And this is probably just going to be a very simple look. Just using this as my transition shade. It's very pigmented right off the bat, which is good if you've been working with eyeshadows for a little while. If not, it could be an issue that you could go overboard. And if you want a lighter look, you need to make sure you go light-handed. So far so good. Then I'm going to go in with a smaller fluffy brush and take milk chocolate, which is slightly deeper, and focus that down a little lower. I'm going to go back with that first brush and blend those together. Didn't add any more product. I'm going to take a more precise blending brush. I'm going to go into the shade Semi-Sweet and focus on my outer corner. And I'm actually going to bring that into about the middle. Because then I'm going to take that same brush and go into Triple Fudge, which is this deepest shade. Actually, I'm going to take Triple Fudge, but I'm going to take it on this Luxie 243 brush, which is a very precision brush. And I'm going to focus this on the very outer edge. I'm bringing it just a little bit in the crease. And then I'm going to take the shade Candied Violet, which is this purple shade, and I'm just going to use my finger and pack this on my lid. Candied Violet's a lot darker than I expected it to be. And then I'm going to go back into that Semi-Sweet shade and kind of blend out this edge a little bit. And then I'm going to go back into Salted Caramel, which was that first shade we used, and just kind of diffuse these edges real quick. So here's my eye look so far. And I'm going to take that same precision brush that I used, and I'm going to dip it back into Triple Fudge and focus that close to my lash line. And then I'm going to take a little bit of that first Salted Caramel shade and blend that out. Alright, so I had to get that foundation off my lips. I'm sorry if that's been bothering you this whole time. So the next thing I have is this e.l.f. eyeliner pencil in black. This is why I should have opened everything, but I didn't. And I don't even have the excuse of, oh, it all came in today, because it didn't. Some of it I bought recently, some of it came yesterday, so I've had plenty of time to undo all this packaging, and I didn't. So it's a very small felt tip. I think my wings are a little uneven, but it's not the end of the world. It was very black. It's a little stiff, but not the end of the world. And I didn't have to I wasn't struggling to keep it black the whole time, which is nice. The mascara I have is the Wet n Wild Max Volume Plus mascara. And mine's in the shade Amped Black, which I don't know if that's the standard black or other brands equivalent of Blackest Black or whatever. It's very odd packaging, so it's flat on this one side. So it's kind of awkward to hold because it's not totally round. It has these spiky little bristles, so one coat. I'll let it dry. While I'm letting that dry, my product I have for my lips is this NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream, which I've tried one of these, but I haven't tried this specific shade. And the other shade I have is too light, so I use it more of a mixer when I want to lighten my lips. And I got this in the shade Kyoto. Which I should have thought about the color I got when doing the eyeshadow, because I got my pink and purple going on. Very comfortable. Kind of smells like they used to have this buttercream hand lotion. I think it was Bodycology, get at Walmart. That's exactly what this smells like. So here's one coat of mascara dry. I'm going to go ahead and put on another coat. This eye will probably give better results because my lashes for some reason are a lot longer on this eye than this one. Actually, they both give fairly good results. It's not my favorite mascara in the world, but it's good as far as like a cheaper like a drugstore option. So I mean, I just did my outro, but actually I forgot that I have lashes to try, so I'm gonna go back in and do those. So these are the Kiss lashes in the shade Shy, and I bought this magnetic lash applicator thinking it was magnetic, hold your lashes, then you let it go and it would help you apply your lashes, but it's actually specifically for the Ardell magnetic lashes. So you put your top lash on this and your bottom lash on this, and then you just put it like this and clamp it, and then it releases your eyelashes. So if you have those magnetic lashes, you might give this a try. I think it was like $2, but I'm just going to use it as a regular lash applicator. So here's what the lashes look like. I'm going to peel one off and see if I need to cut it. So finally, okay, these are hard to get the lash inside of there, but I've trimmed them down. Alright. So I'm going to apply some of the Kiss Lash Adhesive. Okay, so I don't know if I'm going to use that lash adhesive, like that lash strip, that lash like tweezer thing, because I mean, I'm probably going to have to work with it some more to get it to where I can easily do it. Alright, now let's try this again. Alright, and then I'm going to go ahead and trim the other lash and apply it off camera. But this is what the lash is currently looking like. Yeah. So in my intro I had all my lashes on, so I've had this makeup on for about 4.5 hours. For somebody with oily skin and this being a dewy foundation, it really hasn't gotten super shiny. More so it's around my chin and like a little bit on my forehead, but nothing crazy. It has worn off on my chin right here, and over this acne, and around my nose, my chin, and near here this acne. My face feels somewhat oily. And I mean, the concealer, I have creases under my eyes, but that happens normally. The eyeshadow and eyeliner and eyebrows still look good. The highlight is still there. Blush, bronzer is still there. So my lips, it's come off and it's like weirdly clinging to like right here on the inside of my mouth, but like the rest is worn off. But overall, after 4.5 hours, everything looks pretty good, and I'm surprised I'm not more oily since it was a hydrating foundation. It probably has to do with the matte primer and the matte setting spray, which I didn't show in the first impressions video because I forgot I had it. I did use it in my haul video. So I assume between the mix of the matte setting spray and the matte primer that's probably why it's not very dewy or oily. The blush and bronzer still there. I mean, yeah, my lip product's gone, but I've eaten since I put it on. I've drank stuff since I put it on, and it held up really well until I ate, and that wasn't that long ago. But yeah, so I finished my makeup around 11:20. It is like 3:50 now, so it's been about 4.5 hours. But yeah, everything overall still looks pretty good. Like I said, I'm surprised I'm not more dewy. It could have to do with that setting spray. And like my under eyes always crease, so, but like where the Maybelline powder where I baked under my eyes, it's still really matte. And like more so my matte is other places, not really under my eyes. I normally don't get that like greasy looking under my eyes. But yeah, overall I think everything was fairly successful. That bronzer did pull a little gray on me, but I think it's just the shades. But I really like the blushes. The highlight, yeah, it was glittery, but it's not too bad. Brows I really liked. Eyeshadow I really liked. Lashes I like. Eyeliner. And I think honestly the most disappointing thing for me was like the foundation. It was like, you can see a lot of my texture, and it's kind of just sitting on top of my skin at this point. And I don't know if it was the primer or the foundation, but I'm going to try out some other things, and then at some point I'll try and update you guys on what I discovered that I really liked, things that didn't work as well. But based on first impressions, everything went really well, other than like the foundation sitting on top a little bit. But like I said, I don't know if this is a primer or if it's the foundation, so I'll have to try those at another time, like separately, and see. And the bronzer pulled a little gray on me, so I probably won't use that bronzer again. I mean, it might work well for like a contour, but outside of that, everything as far as first impressions go worked really well. But yeah, that is everything for this full face of first impressions. Thank you guys so much for watching this full face of first impressions. I will see you in the next one. Bye.